Om Shanti. So, welcome all of you to the workshop 98 on forgiveness. And as we speak, the festive season here in India has started, today being the very auspicious day of Ganesh or Ganpati, as we call, who is the deity of obstacle, removing all the obstacles, called Vigna Vinashak in Hindi. So, as we dive into this workshop on forgiveness, let's pause for a while and ask oneself, have I been forgiven in the past? I'm sure the answer is a big yes. And what is it like to be forgiven? What sort of feelings and thoughts do we have when we are forgiven for our mistakes? And asking oneself the second question, have I forgiven people? Again, the answer is yes. So looking at these two aspects, which are the routine aspects of forgiveness in this world, from today's workshop, let us try to explore something more deeper at a spiritual level about forgiveness. About our connection to the Supreme Being, who's the ocean of forgiveness. And what is it in my spiritual practice that I can imbibe to become more and more forgiving in my nature? So with this prelude, let's begin. A big thanks to all the participants, almost 30, all of us, including us. Thank you to the interpreters, tireless interpreters, always there for us, the recorders and the facilitators. So we have Sister Anu and Sister Shruti, both from the West Coast. Thank you both of you for joining. And let's move further. A big list, we have reached 98 now. Looking forward to two more, 99 and 100 coming up soon. Okay, so as always, let's begin the icebreaker video and see what insights you have. Seen in a long time. So you'll have exactly 3-4 minutes left to please share your insights. Yes. And let them come in the chat box so that we can save time. All of you have been carried away. You are so emotional. No one is sharing. Oh, I hope, just check whether these people can share. Yeah, just check that thing. Sometimes all is
Yes,
good.
it's for everyone, so you can share on the chat.
Yeah, okay. Right. Yes, thank you, Sister Rena, as always, for this being the savior. Forgiveness is about our own mental, emotional peace. Okay, emotional peace. Right? Mhm. No hate, just love. Roddy, thank you. It's easy to forgive, Sister Garima. Yeah, that black Mayavi or Ravan, whatever we say in Hindi. Just the word I love you or forgive made that go away. Nisha says, anyone no hate. Michael says, if you don't forgive, devils will grow inside up to the point to destroy you. Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. And once I understand it is better to forgive. Yeah. Once I understand that devils can destroy me and our relationships. Okay. So we have 1 more minute left. And if not, but thank you for 5, 6 sharings which came in. I'll wait for a minute. Yes, Brother Lekraj from Nepal. I know you very well. Forgiveness is to let go from within and outside. Thank you. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so let's begin our journey towards the exercise and over to Sister Anu. I'll just read this last one. Sister Denise has mentioned jealousy can lead to hate, and realization of how this can hurt the self can lead to love and forgiveness. Absolutely wonderful. So over to you, Sister Anu. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj brother. Such beautiful sharings. Great value to churn on and understand and embrace. So let's start with our first exercise. And that is actually forgiveness. To forgive others, to think that is where we need effort. So to begin with, to understand, let's reflect on the experience of being forgiven. We all have experienced being forgiven by parents, by friends, by sister, brother, or so many instances in life when we feel heavy, when we feel guilty, and we really, really want to be forgiven, and somebody forgives us, how do we feel? So that would be our first exercise. From there, to move to really, embracing that value of forgiveness. And for that, let's take a minute to reflect on an instance from your life wherein you were forgiven by a person, a friend, relative, family, etc., for your previous mistake. And as you reflect on further on, let's write down the benefits of forgiveness. How did it make me feel? How did it benefit me when someone forgave me? Let's take 1 minute to reflect on this. Let's please write down what you remember, and then we'll share. We are reflecting on a mistake that is not just simple day-to-day mistake, but something that was a bit bigger, that made me feel heavy or guilt, and I was forgiven. How did you feel? What were the benefits of? I hope you all have caught one or other instance that you would like to share. The benefits of forgiveness. Anyone would like to share? Need A little more time, I understand. What are the benefits of forgiveness? Anyone would like to unmute and share? Yeah, Michael.
मैं बोलूं दीदी?
Ji, Nisha, go ahead.
ओम शांति
Speak
दीदी.
in English. Yeah.
हेलो.
In
ओम
English.
शांति दीदी.
Go ahead.
मेरे को किसी ने बहुत अपशब्द बोले एक दिन, तो उस समय तो मैं थोड़ा बहुत डिस्टर्ब हो गई, सारा दिन भूल गई.
Okay.
मैं उस दिन तो मैं भूल गई. अगले दिन सुबह फिर मुझे वो बात याद आई, तो मैंने उस आत्मा को माफ किया. इतना माफ किया कि मैं सेंटर जाते जाते उसको मतलब उस दिन उसने ही दे दिए, तो वो बात बहुत उसको मतलब मैंने माफ करा, और फिर वो बात मेरी बुद्धि से निकल गई. और मैं हल्की भी हो गई.
It makes you feel light.
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा.
Right, and it goes out of your intellect when you choose to forgive. So she's sharing about someone was rude to her and how she forgave, and that gave her the feeling of lightness and release. But we are looking at the benefits of forgiveness by reflecting on when somebody forgave us genuinely, when we wanted to be forgiven. I see many points on the chart. Michael says, I feel release, natural, easy, and light. Kavita says, love and acceptance. You feel loved and accepted. Rodi says, lightness of self, peace and happiness, openness, calmness. Unbelievable, right? It opens you up. You are accepted, you are forgiven. Such a great feeling of love. I was thinking for myself, heart overflows. You just open up. Everything becomes past. You just fly. Shruti says removes the happiness in the relationship. Absolutely necessary. Harmonious, loving relationships are priority. For that we can forgive. Linda says, thank you so much for video link. Okay. Lekharaj says, forgiveness makes us light and get away from wasteful thoughts. As we go on, keep thinking the waste thoughts, and that takes us further more darkness. Neither we can open up for forgiving or asking for. Sukhvir says, feel light and easy to move on, right? Light and easy. Brother Manoj says, removes the guilt conscience. Nav Khela says, I feel peaceful when someone forgives, right? You feel free, peaceful. Christina says, lightness and joy. Michael says, a new start. Beautiful, isn't it? It's very sensitive or beautiful feeling. So it's so beautiful that you all have shared that one line. We could really touch upon the benefit that forgiveness can bring. Anyone would like to share more or anything more that's coming in your heart? It would be nice to hear your voice, listen to you. If you would like to unmute and speak, anyone? Can I call upon Patma, sister? Would you like to share? Not sure. She's listening. How about you, Rihanna? Anybody else?
Of course, everybody forgives and we forgive too, but there was nothing grievous, kind of. That's why I didn't speak. Yeah, but it happens when people, have expectations from you, and it is not met. Not met in the sense up to the level of their expectation. Then they kind of, cut off, and they don't tend to forgive. But then they realize, okay, this is not the way it works. Okay, so for example, I joining the spiritual field. Joining as in I moving on from a random or a mundane life to a spiritual life. I'm still not forgiven by many people, but that's okay because I know that is best for myself and them. So if I'm not forgiven for something like that, then I would say they have to be enlightened, okay, or not me. That's what I think.
Have to stay uplifted, isn't it? I think that is another art we have to learn. It's not a condition that others have to feel. You're right, we need spiritual strength practice to be able to forgive, and even without forgiveness, being forgiven, take the upliftment because you are beautiful soul. Yeah. Thank you so much. Mamta shares on the chat in Hindi, जो कोई गलती करता है तो उसे माफ कर देना ही लेना है. If somebody else does any mistake, by forgiving them, lena hai means we take love, we give love. By forgiveness, I understand that way. So you take their joy, their peace, their lightness, how they feel being forgiven, and you receive that. That's a blessing, dua.
Yeah, by
Thank
listening to by listening to you is like we're returning back to the old good time with the person if he's forgiving us. It's like returning to the old good time with the person by being forgiven.
Good time with the person, the relationship receives that re-energizes to the older way. Is that what you mean, Michael?
It's like finding back, the same feeling, the same quality of relationship, So same, it's yeah, no, it's like no break, no something less.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. We have to reflect if we go back to exactly same, but definitely what you are saying is meaningful. Sometimes we say don't go back to the same norm. You go back to a new norm. But well, forgiving when it is genuine and accurate, go back to the same feeling.
If you are forgiven, you can express in the same way as before, and it touched the sanskars of the person of the old time, so he may be back, and then you can build again to be even better,
that's beautiful. Yeah. So if you're really forgiven, if the person forgives, you get that energy or power to express yourself as you were. Beautiful. Thank you, Michael, brother. Geeta Gupta says, forgiving is the feeling that I forgive myself and others too. It's interesting and intimate relation within the self. As in the video, as we shared as well, that when we forgive, we become free. Otherwise, the darkness grows. And Rena says, forgiveness lifts a weight from the heart. Right. Beautiful sharings. We all very, I would say sensitively, not in a negative sensitive way, connect with this value of forgiveness and what does the wonder it does to us. So with this, let's move forward to deepen this value, the experience, and how can we express this value in our life more. So for that, before that, maybe we can take a look on the all that is shared. Deepak Bhai has been writing it. And as you all know, you will be receiving this in our review materials. Many of us have shared that forgiving or forgiveness makes us feel light, easy. Heaviness is removed from the heart. We feel loved and accepted. We feel peaceful. So many times we have got that light and easy, and we get away from wasteful thoughts. We feel happy, openness. We can express ourselves as we were before, so that no restriction remains. Everything is forgotten. That's how forgiveness is connected with forgive and forget. And Sister Sudha last week explained very beautifully that part, that you have to forgive to the level of forgetting. When you see the same person, you don't remember what happened in the past. Right. So thank you so much. I'll leave it here, and you will be receiving this in the review material, and I will hand it over to Brother Manu, the next one.
Okay, thank you so much, all of you, for your sharings. And let's try to enhance this experience of feeling light and also feeling loved. Let's go on to a very higher awareness to experience this. Okay, I'm sorry, I haven't prepared this here. Yeah, okay. So I hope I'm clear and audible. I'm not sharing any music. Let's begin. Thank you. And let's again take a deep breath and try to raise our awareness towards this consciousness that I am the being of light, the being who is always peaceful and loving by nature. In the next moment now, let us visualize this entity of Supreme Being as the ocean of forgiveness. Shama ke sagar. In the moment I connect to that abundant ocean of forgiveness, it makes me feel more and more light and also full of might, which means I'm able to strengthen myself from within, such an extent that I start forgiving myself for my own mistakes of the past. And as I do so, I start clearing this inner mental clutter of why, when, how, all these questions which led to my mistake. And as I start forgiving the self for those mistakes, I now realize that my near and dear ones, and also those at workplace, also need my forgiveness. So let me, from this very moment, try to forgive them unconditionally, without any terms and conditions. And see that feeling of lightness which you feel within while forgiving others. And again, let's visualize that soul in front of us and visualize the rays of forgiveness emerging from the ocean, the Supreme Being, and engulfing both of us in this beautiful rays of forgiveness. And both of us are feeling very light and seem to be flying like birds, as you can see in front of the screen. And as we return back to be ready for the action planning activity, let's try to do the next activity in this higher awareness of being like the Supreme Being in our dealings with people. So let's come back and over to Sister Shruti for the same. Thank you.
Just share my screen. So, after this wonderful meditation, and one of the words that Manoj Bhai said was about in the awareness of almost being like the divine in terms of forgiveness. Now, situations do occur. People do make mistakes. Even I make mistakes. So how do I enhance, or how do I make sure that this awareness stays on top of my mind to forgive others, forgive myself, find a way to move forward, find a way to forget? So with all of that, we'll spend a few minutes just to reflect on how do I make sure that this awareness stays salient to me, stays top of my mind, and I'm able to incorporate that into my daily life. So just a few minutes and then we'll come back to share. So once again, how do I make sure that this aspect of my personality, how do I make sure that I remain forgiving to others and to myself? We can start discussing. Would anybody like to get started?
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead, Sister Rana.
Okay, so this is easier said than done, even for those who knows it. Okay, and it is more
Absolutely.
important that we, remember this at the correct time. That whatever I am getting is my own doing. Okay, all three levels, that is thought, words, or action. Whatever I'm getting is my own doing. So when you remember this at the exact moment when a challenge is coming from a person or from the nature or anybody, then it is easy to forgive them and move on. Okay, but the challenge is, or but the catch here is to remember it at the correct time. Then I'm at peace. Okay, I don't have to create negative thoughts for myself or anybody. Okay, whatever is happening is for my good and their good. So let it happen. It's only a play that is happening, in the cosmic drama. So if I remember that at the correct time, I'm cool. Otherwise, the thoughts, it keeps moving. It keeps uh, repeating itself, and then a state goes down, and then we have to uplift ourselves. And that's huge work.
Correct.
That's what
So
I think.
remember, very nice. So yeah, remembering at the right time is key. And at that time, then there are many things that you can tell yourself. It's my own doing, it's the drama. There's so many aspects to it. And certainly without, jumping ahead, but like without letting the big ego come in. So many things at that right time. Very, very true. Would anybody else like to speak? With Michael, I thought you had, yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I will say first step, control my ego. Don't let my ego react to act, because usually, someone damage me or do something wrong for me, straight away my ego. So I have to control my ego. Second step, I will say, erase the damage. Make sure that whatever has been wrong for you doesn't have any more impact on some aspect. Rise your
Sorry, Brother Michael, I don't know whether it's me, but I'm a little bit of disturbance.
Yeah, his video is cutting off. Yeah.
Yeah. Brother Michael, would you like to try again, but while
okay.
your video is
Maybe I
turned
cut
off?
the
Yeah.
video and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So first step, control your ego without,
Yes.
without developing. No. Second step, erase the damage that has been done according to whatever the person did wrong to you. Then rise your consciousness to the point to feel even better access into to you wrong. Yeah. It's
So I
okay,
got,
no?
I got a bit of it. So first, and if I'm missing anything, if you want to just even put it in the chat, just so that we don't miss your thought. So I got the first one is controlling your ego and not letting that be in there. Absolutely. Second thing was erasing the damage. And the third thing was, elevating yourself or rising above to the point of reaching that place of forgiveness. That's what I got.
And feel better, and you feel better, you feel good with
and
yourself.
You feel better. Very nice.
As long as you don't feel good, you cannot forgive, for me,
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
And
nice.
then as you feel good, make sure you have success in your life, because that success is the proof that everything is good for you.
Very true. Very nice. Thank you, Brother Michael. Would anybody else like to unmute and speak? You had quite a group this morning. A morning for us, evening for India, afternoon for Europe, I would think now. Anybody else would like to unmute? We learn from each other. I can start reading the chat messages, but it'll be so nice to hear from you. Okay, let me take a few chat messages. If you can't forgive others, how will you forgive yourself? That's from Bina. Manoj Bhai says, become self-forgiving first to enhance forgiving to others. It's similar thought. I really like this, what BK Swati says. It's very, very practical. Take a pause. Deep breathing exercises. Just sometimes the breath matters. Anuban says, not to be critical and not seeing others' actions as mistakes, but understand that it can happen. And with this attitude, I can have a light of forgiveness and foster healing and learning at both ends. Beautiful. Roddy says, forgiveness is the awareness of the self away from ego and commitment, plus the humble attitude of empathy. It's amazing how all these values are so interlinked to so many more. Really very hard to think of one without so many others. We still have about 5 minutes. So anybody would like to unmute, share?
Let's talk. If it is hot, is it hot? That's making us quiet, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon.
Oh, I
Is
see
the sun bothering?
Brijbhai has turned on his video. Would you like to share, Brijbhai?
Let me share some thoughts.
Please.
As Vivekanand said, give whatever you can give, otherwise nature will force you to give. So go on giving willingly. And the
Very
first
nice.
thing is to forgive. If you forgive others, you are forgiven. But I think it is not easy to forgive.
Right.
Forgiving is possible when you avoid the waste thoughts. Then you become so lightened and so happy. So one thing is you be flexible. Rigidity will not work. Learn to be in harmony. As Guru Nanak Dev says, एक ने कहा दूसरे ने मानी नानक कहे दोनों ज्ञानी. So learn to bend and blossom. This is all at a human level of consciousness. But in the kingdom of God, God forgives even not for once. As you sow, so shall you reap. So one has to settle the karmic accounts. That is why the Lord says, remember me, connect with me, become pure, become blessed, and live in the blissful stage so that you are able to forgive from within. Om Shanti.
This is very, very beautiful, Brijbhai. Both the quotes, absolutely beautiful. And of course, again, at a very practical level, harmony, avoiding waste thoughts, and also acknowledging the karmic accounts. Whatever has been put out will come back. That was beautiful. Would anybody else like to share, inspired by Brijbhai? Kavita says, it's only possible to start the process of forgiving when we decide we want to go through a process of transformation within the self. That's beautiful. So it's not transformation outside or in somebody else, it's transformation within. I think in that case, let's summarize and maybe we can use the extra time for the summary, Manoj Bhai. I think there are some lovely points that we can all revisit. So Deepak Bhai, would you like to share the screen? Okay, so again, we got some great points. Become self-forgiving first to be able to forgive others. Take a pause, some deep breathing exercises. Whatever I remember that whatever I'm being faced with is my doing, which came back also in the last comment about just the karmic accounts. So kind of accept this, not be critical, not see others' actions as mistakes, but understand that it can happen. And with this attitude, have a light of forgiveness and foster healing and learning. Forgiveness is the awareness of the self away from ego, commitment, and attachment. So it allows you to foster all of those values. The attitude of empathy, humbleness, elevating the stage to forgive. I think that was Brother Michael's comment about first keeping away ego, allowing the healing to happen. So give yourself to even accept that you felt wronged, and then allow yourself to heal, and then get to that point where you can elevate yourself and forgive. It is only possible to start the process of forgiving when we decide that we want to go through the process of transformation. Similar to Brother Michael's thoughts. Be flexible, avoid waste thoughts, and be in harmony to be able to forgive and remember the divine, remember God, and forgive yourself and settle the karmic accounts. I think we have one more comment. with Brother Lekraj saying, emerging the knowledge that our karmic account is settling. So sometimes these problems are also an indicator that karmic accounts are settling. All right, fantastic. Thank you again for your sharings. And with that, I can hand it back to Manoj Bhai.
Yes, okay, wonderful. So as I am in the process of sharing the screen, I just wanted to make a few quick announcements for people who are new to the series and the episodes and the workshops, actually. If you all want to be a part of them, till February, we are having these series and workshops, just 3-4 months left more. So please feel free to share your WhatsApp numbers and your email addresses so that we send you all these materials as well. And you can either send it to everyone if you're comfortable doing that, or Sister Vidhi or Sister Anu. So please note this down. Thank you. So let's move on to forgiveness, what Sudha Didi had to say. Right. So as we understand this value, that is the basic concept at Brahma Kumaris of learning Raj Yoga meditation. It is to transform from ordinary humans to deities. In Hindi, it's a beautiful word called Nar Se Narayan. Both these words match. So deities are the ones Sister Sudha was asking, do they really have forgiveness in them? Actually, no, not really, because they are in that age of the cycle, we say, where they are fully virtuous. It's an age called golden age where there is truthfulness in every soul. So there is no scope of committing any mistakes. So obviously no scope for forgiveness. So it was just on a lighter side, she started that. So it is more of, when we say forgiveness, it is more of a quality, not of the deities, but of the supreme being, whom we lovingly call God in English, and an angelic quality, because at Brahma Kumaris, we are taught that if you become very virtuous, then you feel very light, and your stage is of a flying stage, not really flying, but as all of you have, since today, as we started the workshop on forgiveness, all of you have said this feeling of lightness. So angels are the ones who are shown to have wings. And wings means, again, not physical wings. They are wings of what we say lightness, because you feel so light. And that's the reason it's called an angelic quality. And there's a famous saying, I think Sister Sudha also alluded to that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she did. She said that man always gets and forgets, whilst God always gives and forgives. And when we say forgive and forget, it implies that we should keep forgiving people, and along with that also forget that. But again, medically, I think I said it last time as well, there's a memory track in your brain of whatever actions have been done to you or you have performed. So you really can't forget the instance. But I remember here, Sister Shivani in one of her talks has mentioned that forgetting literally means you can't forget that incident, but when that person comes in front of you, or when that incident comes in your mind, conscious mind as a picture, then you don't have pain associated with that anymore. So that person in front of you, also you meet that person as if you're meeting for the first time, and you don't carry on the pain which is associated with that instance. So that's forgetting in one technical sense. The value of forgiveness, actually, it came into existence, Didi said, when man forgot about his original godlike qualities. And they were lost because we lost our consciousness, which means we moved in the middle of the cycle, what we say, from soul consciousness to body consciousness. And that is the first biggest mistake, actually, which we did, that identifying ourselves as the body. And that in turn led to many other mistakes. As all of you are aware, in Christianity, in Bible, it's mentioned about the forbidden apple, which God told Adam and Eve not to eat, but they committed the mistake. And there you are. You see what happened after that. So the beginning of forgiveness is when we replace our consciousness from soul to body consciousness, and therefore automatically the virtues get replaced by what is called vices. And then when we do grievous mistakes, we forget about the soul consciousness. And as there's a famous saying, to err is human, but to forgive is divine. But that doesn't really mean that I keep making mistakes all the time. And particularly, it reminds me here of our first organization head, whom we lovingly used to call Mama. She used to say, a person who's doing the same mistake again and again, it's actually not a mistake, and it's on purpose. So it's important to realize that forgiveness is a divine virtue which we need to inculcate. And for this, I remember from today's conversation as well, quite a few times forgiveness for the self was coming up. So we know that mistakes happen unintentionally, and the soul doesn't have the strength to say, no, I will not do it. So therefore, let's start with the self. Apply a full stop inside to whatever mistake has happened, whatever feelings have happened are coming to me from within because of that mistake, and then apply a full stop to that. And again, here it reminds me of our, again, dear Mama, the first administrative head, and even in the Raj Yoga teachings, what we call the Murlis, it is said that to transform, the first step is realization. In Hindi, we say parivartan, and for that, we need to have this power of realization, mehsusta ki shakti. So I need to realize what is wrong or right. And since last few days, again, in our early morning teachings, which we have the Murlis, I think yesterday it was about how you become a holy swan, a holy Hans, because you can differentiate. You have the power to differentiate what is right, what is wrong, the power to discern and decide what is right for me. So self-forgiveness is very essential if I want to inculcate this value and look at the mistake that has happened in the past. It is from the past. It is really no good to me for reminiscing again and again what I have done in the past. So let me let go of that and move on further. And also very important, this point is that she said, Sudhaditi, don't allow the mistakes or wrong behavior of others to affect your heart and mind, because we carry that grudge with ourselves all the time in our hearts. Oh, this one did that. Though we may have forgiven, but again, that still one thought comes, oh, he has done that. So here, she reminded us of three important points what Dadi Janki, one of our previous administrative heads, had to say. That always start with the self, which means when you want to do any service, most important is do service of the self first. Because if I am very heavy inside, I am peaceless, how can I really forgive anyone? So start with the self, then you move on to your relationships, which means forgiveness, forgiving others at home, at workplace. And that will really make our interpersonal relationships happy and content, and love will naturally flow. And then the third thing is service. So if I am improvising on the self, my state of mind is very light and stable. My relationships will be fine, and then service will automatically happen. And actually, what we are also taught here, that your state of mind is your service. And that's what in the future we say that is the state of service which will happen. We all have to serve through the mind. Our stability will help induce someone else's stability. And that's the beautiful way to serve, what we call Mansa Seva. Let's move further. The method of forgiveness, again, she said, is to have good wishes and pure feelings. In Hindi, we call this Shubh Bhavna, Shubh Kamna. And especially for those who have hurt you, because, it becomes easy to have good feelings for those souls who are doing good with us, or maybe just a little bit of grudge. But those who have deeply hurt us in whatever way, actually, even that is a wrong sentence. They have done something, but I have created hurt. So actually, the blame is fully onto me. I don't need to play the blame game by blaming them. Well, so in such cases, particularly if I'm feeling hurt, I have to, on the contrary, emerge these good wishes and pure feelings. And also one point she said that make your life very easygoing. And that's a beautiful quality we have seen in all our seniors, all our senior Rajyogis as well, and all our dadis, what we call it. They were very easygoing, very simple living, high thinking, and very easygoing. And if you're very easy, this E is good. The big E, which you all were talking, all of you, about ego, that is not good. And again, if I'm easygoing, I'm obviously not egoistic. Ego just fizzles out. Then forgiveness becomes much more easier. So easygoing nature, forgiveness becomes easy. And focus on the positive. The first important point is look at the specialities of people. Yes, they have done a mistake, but there are many specialities they have. So remind them of that, help them to get rid of that guilt conscious which they are carrying, and that helps them to move forward. And also, we have people criticizing us. So remember, we are always taught here also at Brahma Kumaris, the one who are defaming you and criticizing you are your best friends, because they are really helping you to improvise. So there are a few quotes which Sudha Didi mentioned, that the highest form of forgiveness is when a person has done something wrong and you look at that soul with a feeling of compassion. If the soul learns to forgive the self, then it becomes easy to forgive others. There you are again. Self-forgiveness is the prime factor helping to forgive others. The last quote, beautiful one. If my focus is only on the negative, I can never forgive. And if my focus is on the positive, the question of forgiveness will never arise. So wonderful. So let's be more and more positive. Look at specialities of people. Automatically, even that thought of looking at their positive qualities, that positive thought will itself be a healing tool for them. It's basically forgiving them automatically. Question time. I have 4 minutes exactly. Let's see how much we'll cover. How do you deal with big mistakes which are difficult to forget and get rid of the guilt? Particularly here, I think the question was about mistakes in the medical field, writing a prescription which may be wrong, and someone has to leave the body because of that. So Didi said here that the medical staff need to practice meditation so that they can calm down themselves, because they are really having a lot of work pressure, particularly in the intensive care or emergencies. And again, if I practice more meditation, then my sense of judgment, my power to decide and discern becomes better. Because particularly if I'm reviving a patient who in front of me who's on the verge of dying, I really need to have good focus and concentration. And I can't at that time afford to be disturbed by that scene. No. So my judgment needs to be intact. For that, meditation is the best. How does one deal with people who deliberately do harm? That's a wonderful one. So let's not look at people, whatever they are doing. Remember, it's a karmic rebound. They have to settle their accounts, but let's have pure thoughts, good wishes for them as well. And never ask people directly why they are doing that, because the souls are not empowered in this day and age to listen to what negative you're telling them about them. So never ask them directly. Another question was about how do we deal with children's mistakes? Are we really supposed to keep forgiving them again and again? So Didi said, don't even think of forgiving your kids, that concept. It is all about giving proper sustenance to them. So proper nourishment, proper palna, what we call in Hindi. And the parents' first responsibility is to give the children a lot of quality time, which in this world, again, a day and age is becoming less and less. We always see many photographs circulating on WhatsApp. All at home, the children, the parents, the grandparents, all of them sitting on their mobiles, on smartphones, devices, but no one really conversing with each other. So I think a digital detox will come in a big way and help us. So company matters. That's what Didi said here. What should I do about feelings of guilt and an inability to forgive myself? Because I think this was a question by one of our participants, that I'm not able to look at myself in the same image as God is looking at me. So here Didi said, just look at yourself like God would want to see you, or like not want, but as God sees you, like a flawless diamond. Then again, nowadays people cheat each other financially. So are we settling karmic accounts or creating new ones? So we need to know that if the best answer here would, I think, would be how to differentiate that. Am I creating a new account or I'm settling? So if my state of mind after a little bit of guilt is becoming stable and I'm able to accept the situation, it shows I'm settling the karmic accounts. And I don't want to create new ones. Because if I'm being so careless, being on the smartphone and not knowing who's taking away my money, I need to be really careful. And can I become a deity? Yes, of course we can become, because that's our entire Raj Yoga study, which we at Brahma Kumaris always say, that becoming a deity from an ordinary human being. So I'll just stop sharing the screen because time is up for me. And I'm sure I'll just stop sharing, and we have Sister Aneta with us. Yeah, there you are. Thank you so much for being there. And I'm sure you heard a little bit of the conversation, but before I pass it on to you, I have to introduce you at length for our audience because you're joining us for the first time.
Yes.
So thank you so much for accepting our invitation. And Sister Aneta, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, because in Hindi also we say Anita. So she was born in Poland and she's got a diverse career across Europe and Asia. And she's played multiple roles in marketing, project management, business excellence, and logistics. So you can all ask those questions if you have related to that as well today. And coming to her journey in Brahma Kumari, since 2011, she has been dedicated to the India One solar thermal power plant, which is a research and development project for the round-the-clock renewable energy, which all of you know we had Brother Golo a few weeks ago. And she's an active member of the Brahma Kumari's Environment Initiative. And she's represented the BKs at various United Nations platforms. And also, as we speak, she currently is the director of Brahma Kumaris in Poland and a member of the Polish National Coordinating Team. She has coordinated from 2014 to 2016 many activities of the Awareness Come Training Center for Concentrating Solar Thermal Technology. And that's a collaborative initiative supported by the Government of India's Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So it's really a big initiative. And she also actively engages in environmental advocacy as a member of the BK initiative. She's represented United Nations, various organizations for climate change, for Convention to Combat Desertification, for biological diversity, so on and so forth. So here we are. She's there with us today. And what she says that through her blend of spiritual dedication and professional acumen in sustainable development, she endeavors to collaboratively forge a brighter future for all of us. And as always, before I give it to her, a few lines on the value of forgiveness and on her. Today, on the auspicious Ganesh Chaturthi Eve, let's invoke the divine presence of the Supreme Shiv, who converts us into being smart from being naive, like Sister Aneta, so that Maya doesn't get a chance to deceive. The lost fortune we are then able to retrieve and become happy, not having any more to grieve. Our life then becomes of one who is able to give and give, forgetting people's mistakes and able to forgive. This is indeed the true way of life to live, whereby we don't hurt, we live and let others live. With no soul then ever having to heave and depart from this world by taking appropriate due leave. So thank you so much for being there. And with this, the stage is on. Thank you. Over to you.
Om Shanti, greetings of peace. I hope you can hear me well.
Yes,
I am
very well.
actually, thank you. I am actually somewhere in the middle of Polish mountains. We are having a beautiful retreat with Sister Aruna from Oxford Retreat Center and Sister Pavitra from Kuwait. And for the last few days, we are actually exploring the theme of harmonizing our sanskaras. So how to come into harmony. And yes, I'm very privileged to be here. And I have seen a little bit what you have done already. And I have heard the summary of Didi Sudha. So I believe you have learned already so much about forgiveness. So I'm not sure about my humble sharing, but I will do that. I will share what I understand about forgiveness and some of my experiences. And I'm happy to see some of my friends here, and I'm happy to make new friends. So thank you for inviting me indeed. And forgiveness. I was thinking about forgiveness for the last few weeks, thanks to your invitation. So thank you very much for that, because at least for me, that already brought a lot of benefit. And I realized that forgiveness is actually a power, very important power in our life today. And this is the power that can really heal the heart, my heart, but also the heart of the whole humanity. And this is maybe the only way that can really, truly makes us complete again and free. So how to create and experience the land of forgiveness? It's possible only when we get to know and we connect with the ocean of forgiveness. And my experience over last weeks, as I said, I was very much aware and I was very attentive and I practiced forgiveness on myself. So every time I would think, oh, I'm not good enough. I don't know how to do this. Oh, I'm not worthy of it. Every time I had any criticizing thoughts towards myself, I would stop and really forgive myself, because I understand how much harm it creates on the soul. And I would like to structure this 1 hour in a way as we do our gatherings at all those different UN conferences. Actually, we used the method which was developed by indigenous peoples of Fiji, and it is called Talanoa dialogue. And I believe it's a very simple way, but also very effective to bring about the change. So basically, there are 3 questions that are asked and then answered. The first one is, where are we at? Then where we want to go and how to get there. So I would like to do this today, but in a little bit different sequence. I'd like to start from the vision of the world that we would like to live in the concept of forgiveness. So today, I will share some of the insights that I understood from this spiritual path. But also I would like to include some moments of reflections and meditation. So now I would like to propose that we start with the first reflection. And this will be about the land of forgiveness. So please sit comfortably, be relaxed. Take a few deep breaths in, breathe in deeply, and breathe out long, and repeat it. Breathe in deeply and make a long breath out. And now for a moment, let us think, what would such a land of forgiveness look like? So let us reflect on a beautiful vision of God. So there is this story that once God was asked a question, in what light would you like to see the world? And then God answered, my deepest wish right now is to create a land of forgiveness, a land where each one is uncritical and does not keep any stern eye on anyone's mistakes or weaknesses. A land where there is complete harmony between humans, despite all their differences. So I want the entire human race to proceed into such a land of forgiveness. So now let us imagine a land of forgiveness, a world where forgiveness is in the heart of every interaction, where we look past each other's flaws, mistakes, where we embrace each other with understanding and compassion. In this land, there are no unfulfilled expectations. There are no disappointments. There is no hurt. There is no bitterness. There is no internal pain from the past. In the land of forgiveness, no one gives sorrow. No one takes sorrow. In the land of forgiveness, no one takes sides. Everyone is all together in a loving circle. And in the land of forgiveness, here and now, we all are free. We all are complete. We all are flying to our perfection. And land of forgiveness is a space where the hearts are open, where every heart is healed, is clean, is full of light. For a moment, let me feel this land of forgiveness, what it is to be like to live in a land of forgiveness. And I know that land of forgiveness is just one step away from land of purity, peace, happiness. So now the question is, do I want to contribute to create such a land of forgiveness? Would I like to be God's helper to co-create it? How can I create it in my life, here and now? The word of freedom, love, and harmony. Land of forgiveness. Thank you. So I believe we all would like to live in such a land of forgiveness now, before we reach the land of full purity, complete purity. So how to get there? In order to understand this, first we have to see where are we? And I'm sure we all would agree that the land, the world in which we live right now, is a world of unforgiveness, the lack of forgiveness. But what does it mean? How can we describe the current situation? So the first description I would like to propose of the current land of unforgiveness, and maybe those things that I will mention now are a little bit strong. So please forgive me if they are too strong, but I believe sometimes it's good to wake up and then really to become aware what it is, and then if I want to change it. So the first analogy I would like to use is to say that this word today, the word of lack of forgiveness, is like a jail. And when I was preparing for this little intervention, I read different stories. And I'm sure you have heard the story of Nelson Mandela. It's very often given when we speak about forgiveness. So when he was freed and he was walking out of this Robben Island prison, he had to face two sets of doors to go out from the prison. The first doors, this was the door which was ending his physical imprisonment. So that was okay. But the second door, this was a door which if he would go out of it, he would get free from the prison of his mind. Because he understood that actually it's just not the matter of going out from that prison, but he has to become free from any anger that he could have because of the situation in which he was for so many years, free from any bitterness, free from any resentment, free from any hatred. So he was a very sensible and also spiritual person. So he took this decision that he is also leaving this prison of his mind. And this conscious decision freed not only him, but it helped the whole country of South Africa to start the new chapter. But I think it also helped the whole world to create hope for everyone. So he understood that forgiveness is not about forgiving others, but it's about freeing myself. So I think this is a very beautiful story that we can relate to, and then we can see for ourselves in what kind of jail am I today. Jail means something what is limiting me, what doesn't allow me to use my full potential. So what is it? What do I avoid? What I don't want to do? What am I afraid to do? With whom I don't want to work? Let me check all these aspects of my inner prison because of the things that happened in the past. Maybe I did something wrong and I am ashamed to change it and to move on. Maybe someone else did something wrong towards me and I did not forgive. So I am in this limitation of relationship. So let me check it and see how I can become free. The second analogy, when I was thinking about this lack of forgiveness in the current situation, is that it is like a wound unforgiveness is like a wound that I choose or I refuse. I refuse to heal it. I keep this wound in me, and every time I think about it, this wound becomes deeper and bigger. And it's not healing, but it's even more affecting myself. So the wounds, these are emotional hurts. This is the pain from the past when someone hurt me or I hurt someone. So these wounds not only impact my spiritual health, but it impacts even my physical health. It is like a burden from the past that I have to carry. It's very heavy. I become very tired and I am disheartened. And then it affects even in a psychosomatic way, the physical health of my body because of these different emotions that are stuck in different parts of my body. And then my immunity system becomes less. And then these wounds that are not healed, they are also affecting my relationships with others. Because I'm wounded, I am not complete and I am not able to create healthy relationships. So it is a very serious illness of unforgiveness. Then another analogy I would say is that, okay, I may forgive someone, but forgiveness is really about forgiving everyone. Because unforgiveness, if I don't forgive even one person, it is like a drop of poison in this glass of water. So I can forgive many people, but this one person whom I cannot forgive, it will poison me. So actually, when we speak about forgiveness, it is a matter of radical forgiveness. I have to forgive radically. Radically means everyone, including myself, and everything. So it's a big thing, radical forgiveness. And actually, in the world outside, there are many different methods, therapies about forgiveness. And one of the systems is called radical forgiveness. Maybe you have heard about it. A little bit I read about it, but what touched me was one story I've heard just recently from two therapists of this radical forgiveness. So these were two women in Poland, and they went to women's prison in Warsaw. This was a very strict prison. The prisoners who were there committed very bad criminal acts. So these women, these therapists, they wanted to organize so-called circle of forgiveness. They didn't know what to expect, how it would be. So they went there and they did it. And actually it was very deep and healing experience for those women prisoners. But one thing which I thought was very interesting was when in one of the exercises, they asked those prisoners, the women, they asked the first question. Those of you who ever hurt anyone, did any wrongdoing, please step into the circle. So then this woman did it. And then the next question was, any one of you who experienced any hurt, who was hurt by others, please step into the circle. And they did. And in this way, actually everyone was at that moment in the circle. And the thing is that at this moment, the energy that was in the circle was the same. The energy of the oppressor and the energy of the victim was the same energy. It is quite interesting because it doesn't matter whether I hurt or I was hurt, the energy which is created there is the same. It is an energy of pain and suffering and guilt but most of all, it is destructive energy. It takes me down, it drains my life out of me. And both of these groups experienced the same energy. So for me, it was just one more insight to understand how important is this forgiveness on both sides. So yeah, I think it's always good to stop. And it is such a deep topic, and you already had 2 hours on that. Beautiful input from Didi Sudha, and then you had this workshop, but I still believe it's just the beginning of this process. So really it's good always to go inside and to ask myself, what am I holding on to? And how is it affecting my life? What would it feel like if I forgave? If I moved forward? If I let go? What would be this feeling like? Or maybe I'm fearing of anything. If I do this, what am I afraid of? So it's like weighing, checking what I lose if I forgive and what I gain if I forgive. I believe we consciously have to do this exercise for ourselves. So then the third question would be, okay, we know where we would like to be, what kind of world we would like to create. Then we know where we live right now, how harmful it is. So, okay, the third question is, how do we get out from the current world and how we create the world that we all desire? So here I would like to propose a few methods, maybe 5 points. Let's see, one by one. So I think the first step always will be the realization. Realization that it is up to me, that I want to forgive and that I have to forgive, that it's not waiting for others to come apologize to me or to ask for forgiveness. I have to do this because I want to get out of this jail, because I want to heal myself and the world, because I don't want this poison in the world anymore. I want to be free from that burden. So this is very important realization, and not everyone has it. This is something what we really have to understand why I would like this, because it's not an easy process to follow. So it requires really this decision and determination from my side. And when we speak about realization, it can be realization from the head, like now, yeah, after hearing all this, bad sides of unforgiveness and benefits of forgiveness, of course I want to forgive. So this is a realization from my head, but it will not be enough. There has to be a realization from the heart. And realization from the heart, I think, can be based on 2 things. Realization from the heart will come when I have enough. When I suffered already so much, I have already so much pain that I don't really want this anymore. And pain is a very good indicator that something is not okay. Like when we have any pain in the body, immediately we take some actions. Either we do that or this, depending what we believe in, but we take care of it to eliminate it or reduce it first. So emotional pain, spiritual pain is also indicator that something is not right and I should take care of it. And this pain would be in my heart. So that helps me to realize that I want to change. So pain, but on the other side, there is love. I want to change from the heart because of love. What kind of love? Then there can be so many reasons of love. Of course, it's good if I could do it because of love for myself, because I want to move on. I want to go on. I love my stage, so I want to change. I love good wishes for others. And finally, love for God, because I know that God, He doesn't want me to suffer. He wants me to heal. So let me make this realization that yes, I will be serious. I will take it up and I will enter this journey of forgiveness. So this is, I think, the first step. The second step would be understanding. And this is essential step. What kind of understanding? Yes, we are all here more or less on a spiritual journey. So always the first lesson is the understanding of who I am. So also here it is essential. The understanding that I am the inner being, and the understanding that I create my thoughts, my feelings, my actions. And the understanding that originally I am good, I am full of light and love and joy. This is my original and true nature. And understanding that not only me is like that everyone is like that, is the spiritual being, originally joyful, peaceful, loving. And understanding that all of us are in this universal journey. We all have this universal history. And we all go in this journey from the good to the bad, and then to good again. And everyone is included in that journey. So now I would like to again offer a short reflection on these 2 points, because again, one is understanding with head, but another thing is understanding with heart by experiencing. So obviously this time is too less to create maybe some deep changes, but at least if we can get better insights and some experience, that would be already good. So it can be followed through later. So let us have a moment of reflection again. Okay. So again, let us sit straight. And just with one thought, you think, who am I? So concentrate all your attention, focus all your thoughts in this one point of awareness, in the point in the middle of the forehead. And as I do it, I feel I become lighter. I go inside and I remember that truly I am the conscious energy, this energy of light that lives in this physical body. But I am not that physical body. I am the one that is invisible, but the one who is very powerful. If I remember, I know that it is the inner being, this point of spiritual energy that has capacity to think, to decide, to do, to create my life. So now, let me think, let me remember from where I came. Let me go beyond time. Let me go beyond the space. in my mind, let me go back and return to my true home, the home of me, the soul, the spiritual being, the point of light. My home is up above, beyond this physical dimension. It's a world of light. It's a land of peace and silence, where I resided, where I was complete. I was pure, I was light. But then I came down to express myself, to experience myself, to experience relationship with others, to experience happiness. I came down to this land of this physical matter. And I was joyful, I was happy. Everyone was happy, everyone was loving. It was a land of happiness and love. But as time went by, slowly, I became distant from myself. I started to forget who I was. I started to engage so much in this world of matter, in the physical dimension, that I started to identify myself with the body, with what I did, with whom I was with. I forgot I was light and love and peace and joy. And I forgot to whom I belong. And this separation made me lonely. And this separation made me painful. I started to feel the pain of loneliness, the pain of missing this pure, joyful, wonderful life. And as I did it, I started to react in this way. I started to cause pain to others. This pain is the reason that I was not able to be happy. And the same happened to everyone else. We lost our true identity. We lost our peace, our love, our joy. And we started to hurt each other, wanting things from others. And as we were not able to fulfill these expectations, we were hurting each other even more. So now, let me think about someone who hurt me. How do I look at this person? From which perspective I look at them? Do I look from the perspective of their current conditions, which is about forgetting who they were? Can I remember who I truly am? It's just a matter of a thought. It's just a matter of a feeling in my heart. Can I remember who I am and who they are? And can I change my vision? And can I see the goodness in that soul? Can I see the original love Can I see the original joy? Can I remember it? Let me change the way I see myself and others. And that allows me to go beyond this temporary current situation. And as I do it, I change and the other one changes. And we start recreating the land of peace and joy. My vision changes myself and the other one. My good wishes help transforming me, transforming others. It's like God. He only sees that what is true, what is eternal, what is good. Let me make effort and do that with love too, and see how my relationships change. And then this universal journey will take us back to our home. Thank you. So this is a matter of healing spiritual amnesia, we can say. Then going forward, the next point we can consider in healing unforgiveness is something quite maybe obvious already for all of us. It's to understand that whatever came to me, it was for me to learn something out of it. So the question is, what did I learn out of that? And it can be that I learn that I really should not react with any violence, aggression. I should not be reactive. I should be able to respond from my true self. It's a process, but it starts always with realization and then with checking myself. So what did I learn out of that situation? What makes me better? What brings me closer to my aim? So one thing is to learn how I reacted in a bad way, this way hurting others, but maybe I also have to learn that I should not be so naive. Like brother was saying in the beginning, sometimes we are maybe too vulnerable and we should be more sensible because there are so many things going around us, and whatever happens, it's not just the thing which is the instant reaction. Many things happen because of things that happened long time ago. So I have to be actually very alert all the time, understanding in what time I live. And then I can learn out of that. I can become stronger and I can become more, let's say, immune to this kind of influences. I can take life in my hands. And then if I can do this, it's like forgiveness would change into gratitude. It's like loss changes into benefit. And it only helps me in whatever way I need to be helped. Of course, these are only words, but to have this attitude of learning, to make this effort and in this difficult situation, to stop, step back and see, really, out of love, not this realization of love, what can I learn out of it? How can I use it for my progress? And then the next step, next understanding, and also you have spoken about this already, is actually to take responsibility for whatever has happened. And this is difficult. And I was observing different people who are not able to forgive, who believe they are victims of other people. I have this kind of people in my circle of low kick, of worldly family. So it's so easy to make myself a victim and to treat the other one as an oppressor. But how does it help me or anyone else? It doesn't help. And it's very difficult to come out of that circle, but really, really, it is necessary if I want to forgive. So, of course, here, if I become a victim, then it means I have no power. This self-inflicted victimhood makes me powerless. And then, of course, I cannot do anything. So then, how to get out of that? It is to understand that these circumstances, they don't happen by themselves, that they are results of something what was before. And you have spoken about so-called karmic accounts, and I think everyone is familiar with one of main spiritual laws, which is, we call it law of karma, or whatever we sow, that we reap, as they say in Christianity, right? So this is nothing new. We all can say, yes, it is like this. But now it is a moment to understand what was my role in that situation. And even if I cannot understand, then I need to accept that there was something what I had done before that caused it. Because whatever happens to us, this is the fruit of our thoughts, feelings, actions before. So to take responsibility by accepting it, and then to take responsibility means to change. No, it's not enough to say, I'm sorry. It is not enough. If I'm really sorry, then I have to make an honest commitment that I will change. And I will do my best not to repeat that mistake. It's a big thing, but it is again a conscious decision that I can take if I want to. This forgiveness is a very deep inner work. So we are here to help each other. So let us see how we can do it for our sake and for the sake of everyone else. So I change my actions. And you know the word for giving, right? It means for giving. So really one very good antidote for lack of forgiveness is giving. And it's a big thing to ask. But if I am on the spiritual path, this is what I should do. I should give more, and I should give even more to those whom I want to forgive. Just, you know, when you are thinking about a certain topic, then so many things you hear which are related to this topic, right? So just yesterday, someone was sharing that one of our seniors was asked how to forgive people who really hurt them a lot, like criminal acts, like war. And she answered, yeah, keep giving, give, give, give. It's a high destination. And how can I give? From where I can give? So of course, it's not that I can give if I don't have it. So I have to take care of myself. I have to feel myself from the source. And it's a long and deep process. And in this 1 hour, we are not able to go into depth, but some highlights of what I believe should be done are like this. So giving. Forgiving is for giving. And then I can heal myself and also can help healing others. So my actions, of course, always starts with my thoughts and feelings. And then if I do all these things and I'm still not able to forgive, that may happen very much, then I really have to reach out to deep spirituality. This law of action-reaction, it applies to me, but it applies also to the other one who hurt me. So if I try to forgive, if I ask for forgiveness and it is not happening, then I think at this moment, I really have to trust this universal spiritual laws, like this law of karma, because everyone will get fruits of their actions, and it has to be settled at the end of the day. So I just trust that it will happen, and then it gives peace to my mind, and then at least I can go and sleep peacefully at night. I don't deepen this wound in me. And then, and this is actually the best way, always, is to give these hurt feelings, or even if I hurt someone, to put it in front of the ocean of forgiveness. The one who knows the truth, who is the truth, the one who is ocean of compassion, ocean of love. And to be honest, to present it to him, her, and to give it. And yeah, it's not that actually God forgives. God doesn't have to forgive because he never condemns. So what would he have to forgive? He's not forgiving, but with his love, his mercy, he allows me to heal myself and then to help others heal. His knowledge, his power of love is transformative. And this is really the only way to heal these deep wounds in the soul. So, yes, and then of course, always the best is to prevent things rather than to heal. So in order to prevent, I need to work on myself. So I don't let others hurt me. I will not hurt others. How can I do this? Again, by being in the company of the one who is ocean of love, who is ocean of knowledge. So then I know what to do and I have power to do what is right. And maybe the last thing which I would like to mention is about self-forgiveness, because everything I know now starts with self-forgiveness. If I don't forgive myself, how can I forgive others? Not possible. If I don't forgive myself, how I can ask others for forgiveness? Somehow the experience shows that if I am able to forgive myself, then others will also forgive me. This is how it works. And here, maybe very shortly my experience of my self-forgiveness, which started and still is, of course, this process going on. But as brother was introducing me, on physical, external level, I was always very lucky and very successful in anything what I did. I always was very successful. The best in school, then very successful in my career, achieving all different steps in this ladder, career ladder, working in Poland, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Shanghai. Not many people from Poland get these chances. Having beautiful apartment, earning good money, traveling everywhere. Can you hear me?
Yeah, ignore that.
Okay. So that was really good, but I was not happy. Something was missing. And I was always comparing myself to others, and I was feeling always unworthy. So then when I came to Brahma Kumaris and I started to study Raja Yoga, I embarked on this journey of exploring and really journey of forgiveness. And I did some exercises, spiritual exercises. And just in short, actually my story was that I was not happy with myself. No matter what I did, how successful I was, it was never enough. Because long time ago, this soul betrayed God. Can you imagine? Soul betrayed God. How is it possible? Long time ago. So then, in the introspection, in meditation, in deep yoga, I understood and I felt that God never, even for a millisecond, had any bad thought against me, that I would betray him. Whatever I did, it was just to happen. And he never had any resentment towards me. Just in contrary, he has always loved me because he knows me. So it's not a matter of him forgiving me or me living up to his expectations, and then I projected his expectations towards everyone else. It was wrong. For all these years, I suffered. I was not able to enjoy my life. So then I understood I have to forgive myself for that thing, this misunderstanding, misconception, really. And I did, and I changed. But this is so deep that, of course, it takes time because it was built over so many years. I cannot expect it will be fully healed in 10 years or 20 years. So it's a journey, but I see the progress. And the thing was that God doesn't have to forgive me because he never condemned me. And the point which I made out of that and what I'm working on is to build my self-respect. I think self-respect is essential for me to be able to forgive myself and others. And also when I build my self-respect, I will not be hurt by others and I will not hurt others. And the only way to build self-respect is to understand that I am God's child, loved by him fully, and that I am in this journey, but I am beloved God's child. So yeah, that would be the story. And I would like to finish with a short meditation, but I don't know if we have time. What would be the plan?
Yeah, sure. We have time, but we'll just do the other formalities first, and then in the end, we'll do a meditation. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you so much for your wonderful journey, which you shared, and also the detailed steps of forgiveness, which were full of values. So I'll now invite Sister Anu to please propose the vote of thanks, and then do the other things as well. I'll do the announcements after that. Yeah.
Thank you, Manoj, brother. Yeah, as brother said it right, so in detail, you have explained how realization and understanding is needed to forgive, that forgiveness is actually to free myself. And it's a deep inner work. Also, I loved it when you brought that realization that who hurts and who is hurt are in the same experience, same feeling, low energy, far away from our real self, our authentic self. So we have to commit to be our real self, that is freeing ourselves, and taking the power from the source is only possible to do that. So very, very beautiful sharings. Thank you so much, Sister Aneta, on behalf of everyone who is listening today. and we will churn further and definitely bring this value of forgiveness. Right? And yeah, Brother Manoj, over to you.
Yeah, so thank you so much. And let us just quickly do the announcements. In the meantime, please be ready with your cameras on so that we can take the photograph. I'll just finish this announcements in a bit. Yeah, so in the next 12 hours, we are trying to go into the depth of this forgiveness, and we always end it with a silence retreat. So we're very lucky to have it tomorrow, India time, Sunday morning, and Saturday late evening for West Coast, Vancouver. So please join in, though it is for the regular Brahma Kumari students who are practicing Raj Yoga regularly, but you can always taste the flavor of what we do in this silence retreat. And also, I must say, go into the depth of silence, which will help you to introspect and help in developing that value. And a little bit of change we have. We are approaching the number 99, the auspicious 99 and 100. So this time we have a little bit of change for reasons which I'll let you know when we go on the workshop. So we'll be having a workshop first, followed by the episode. So 99th workshop will be on serenity. The month of September actually is full of peace because World Peace Day is celebrated. It's a United Nations initiative again on the 21st of September. So we'll have first with us Sister Elizabeth. She'll be doing the workshop talk as we are doing today, 14th September. Sister Elizabeth is one of the senior Rajogi sisters, an excellent singer from the west coast of USA, and she serves as an instrument at the Anubhuti Retreat Center. And after that, then we'll have again Santosh Didi from St. Petersburg, Russia, and she'll be speaking on the Values for Life series episode number 99 after that on 21st September. And that happens to be the World Peace Day. So we'll be sharing all the other details as well on the groups which we have. And this is our elegant calendar. And all these series and the workshop, all are present on this playlist, which you can click, and you can feel free to share your feedbacks and comments on our emails, which are mentioned here. And also feel free to visit the websites vihasa.in and vancouver.brahmakumaris.ca. I'll just stop sharing and over to Sister Garima or Sister Anu for the photographs. Yeah, many people have.
So I'll take the photo. You can all also open your gallery view to see all of
You know,
us.
Sister Aneta, you'd be wondering now they are putting their videos for the photo. So it's good.
So we all want to be with Sister Aneta and remember this remarkable moment of beautiful value, forgiveness. So you can switch on your video. Yeah, I thought that. Thank you.
They're a bit late. Okay, but fine. Okay, thank you. And over to you now for the closing meditation. So you'll be doing some commentary, right?
Yes, just
Yeah, okay,
for
sure.
a moment. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, so let me center myself inside in this powerful point of awareness of who I am. I return to authentic me, this beautiful, sparkling, pure energy, eternal, loving, always. And in this awareness, I go beyond and I meet the ocean of forgiveness, the purest being, the Supreme One, the one that doesn't have to forgive anyone, the one that doesn't have to be forgiven, the one who loves everyone. I am with the ocean of forgiveness. And I remember I belong to him. Ocean of forgiveness and me. And being with him is the best moment of my time. Being in his company heals me. The waves from the ocean of forgiveness embrace me, and they reach every piece of me, the soul. And these waves of forgiveness cleanse out any pain, any resentment, any hurt in me, the soul. And it's like my whole history is being cleansed out. I become pure. I am healed. I am complete again. In his company, I know who I truly am. I have this understanding, and I get courage to remain this way. It's a courage to cooperate with myself, his wisdom, his love. Feel me, and I know what to do. I make a commitment in my heart that I will be alert, I will be aware, I will observe, and I will not allow myself to get hurt, and I will not hurt others. I want, together with him, the ocean of forgiveness, co-create the land of forgiveness for everyone, so everyone can feel safe, open, complete, free. I am the child of ocean of forgiveness, and I take his power of love with me, so I can be it and I can share it with everyone. I am complete and free soul. I will remember it. I become it. So I come back to the place where I am, to the role that I play, but with this commitment and this power of love. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this beautiful experience and your talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Om Shanti.
everyone. See you soon again.